Let's say you have a fairly strong bear leg that has went down with, brief pauses. Okay. This on a higher time frame is a spike. So on, let's say on the 5 minute, it is a parabolic wedge, but on, 30 minutes, some higher time frame, it's a bear spike. Okay. As you know, corrections from parabolic wedges is usually brief. You get the correction, but then there's usually trend resumption, and that is because of this dynamic. They are on a higher time frame, they are spikes really. In the minority of the cases, they completely fail. So let's say this is one of them. You're getting strong reversal from this. You're thinking, okay, so what should I do? The most important thing that you have to look at always is how does the market get to, important test points? So if this is the start, this is 0, and this is 100% of the bear leg. Obviously, the middle is here, 50%. And then the next important one is 3/4 up, 75%. Okay, how does the market get up there? Does it go here, like with very strong bars? And basically maybe no pause or a small pause? Because once you get past the midpoint and get up to 65, 70, 75%, then this is showing you trading range price action. So your big move down was matched equally by a big move up, and it is not finished yet. This usually results in more sideways. When you go past that midpoint, 50%, odds are it's going to be now a trading range, because if it is a trend and you get pullbacks, pullbacks don't go all that much back. They don't retrace a lot of this leg down. They retrace between 30% to 50%. And then there's trend resumption, usually even less than 30% if the trend is really strong. But when it goes past the 50% and starts to go higher, which one is the event? At first, the bear leg was the event. This was our event. But the response that we got, this bull leg, all right, so this was the response to that bear event. Now, for the correction, this becomes the new event. And we are looking for pullback from this, which is going to be, there's going to be something, but then this something is not comparing to this new event, not to the old one, when it gets far. So you have to pay attention this point, where is it forming? If it forms beyond the 50, 60% of that bear leg, then the market is in a trading range. And this is the dynamic that Dr. Brooks calls big up, big down, and you know the rest, big confusion. Right? Big confusion is this part, sideways. Every time, big up, big down, goes past the midpoint. It might not go below the absolute low, but when it gets close to it, then the result is more sideways. To estimate it, you have to count the number of bars in the legs. How many bars here? Let's say you had 12 bars here. You might get 9 to 12 bars on this leg down. And then these are smaller versions of them. So maybe 7 here, maybe 5 here. Sometimes it forms a triangle. Sometimes it forms an expanding triangle. This is higher probability. This is lower probability. Expanding triangles form less usually. At this point, we have a big leg down. This was the response to this breakout. How much of it did it retrace? Let's measure. So then from here to, let's say, absolute high was almost here. That's 50%. That's probably 60% because this is 75. This is probably like 67, 68% of this was retraced. Now this is big. So expectation, as I said at the beginning, based on the day structure, is more sideways. Now that is this leg. That is 50%. We're going above it. So now, if you buy and you hold and you get a bunch of dojis, you can get out. This is actually quite good because you are not getting a big bear bar and a crash. But even if you get a pullback here, odds are market is going to be sideways in this region. Now going back to here, there's one more thing I want to talk about. If you look at your trading range, so big leg down, this is the range from here to here, and this is the midpoint. If the market goes above it, based on how much it goes above it, then odds are the sideways move is probably going to perform mostly in this area. But if it goes below it again and goes a lot below this, then starts to go sideways, odds are it's going to stay within this part mostly. So you look at how does it cross that midpoint. So it crossed it, it went to half of it, couldn't get below, bull bar, bull bar. So it's likely to stay above this portion rather than below. But there are some cases that the market gets to here, then goes below and tends to stay in this region.